Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Code with the Italians. Welcome, welcome. Today we have another great guest. Ivan? Well, you're not the guest. I mean, do the introductions.
Yes, thank you, Sebastiano. Thank you, Sebastiano, for having me. It's a pleasure. I always dreamed about joining you for this. Jokes aside, today we have Jossi. Jossi, welcome to Code with Italian. Thank you for accepting our invitation, even if you know for sure that we are gonna fuck up big time. So thank you for your understanding and your patience and your braveness. Please. How you doing?
Hey, thanks so much for inviting me. Yeah, you're in good company because I always fuck up coding too. So we're forming a good group. Doing well. It's pumpkin season. It's great. I made pumpkin soup today. I know this is the content that people are here for, cooking and not tech.
I'll tell you something, though. Yesterday, I went to a restaurant that does primarily pumpkin dishes. So we're keeping the theme here, you know? Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so much. We are so much.
So they're only like open and they're only open.
I think
in
we just
autumn,
wing it
how
in
does it
other
work?
seasons.
Sounds
Not bad.
nice.
Not bad. So, welcome everybody in the chat, and thank you for joining us. Some public service announcement kind of stuff. We are running out of stickers. This is a good news because, well, we didn't think that it would be possible so quickly. So thank you. Of course, we are buying more stickers because, you know, we need to send you more swag. Talking about sending stuff, this is the next batch of letters that they are gonna go out tomorrow. Most of you are gonna notice that the printed address is a bit out of alignment or the font is tiny. I don't know how to print shit on this format. So, and I'm an engineer, we don't do that. I can probably install a printer, but I can't use it. Anyway, these are gonna go through all around the world. We are super happy because we are running out also of stamps. I mean, this is so cool, right? And we have like a few few stamps for Europe and a few more for Italy and for the rest of the world. So this is great. This is super nice. Today as well, we are gonna give away stickers, but we are also gonna give away conference tickets because, you know, I mean, even if you can't put them on your laptop, it's always nice if you can go for free to a conference. So we reached out to DroidCon all over Europe, and we managed to get stickers for London, Berlin, and Turin. Today we are going to give away one ticket for Berlin. Am I
Yes,
right, Sebastiano? Is it Berlin?
I mean, we have a guest that is a speaker there, so it makes sense.
It was 33%.
It makes sense, right?
Yes. Go Ivan. Yeah, no. Berlin is the closest conference, right? It's the closest day, so that's why we want to prioritize Berlin. We are going to give away a couple of tickets for London next episode, and we're going to give away tickets for Turin after that. Also, we have both free tickets and discount codes. So if you're out of luck and you don't get the 100% discount code, you can still get a discount. Everybody's going to get a discount code.
For Berlin, we have 9 50% tickets. For London, we have, I think, 5 50% tickets and 1 free one. I don't remember for Turin.
Yeah.
There's too many things to give away. I'm kind of losing track here.
For Turin, yeah,
but it's a good problem to have, right? It's a good problem to have.
I want. Yeah, I mean, that's when you can give away too much stuff is always a nice problem to have. I think for Turin we have probably 3 or 4 free tickets, and then we have a 20% flat discount code YOLO. So everybody's just gonna because why not? I mean, they're super generous, and I want to I want to. We will talk about that in the next weeks, and probably we will also drop some link and other things to because we are super grateful. So stick with us. For today, we focus on Berlin, and yeah, thank you to the committee. So stick with us. We are gonna just give away the usual stuff. So we will drop word in the chat, and then we can raffle the winner. So be active in the chat and
Do we
stay
also
with us.
have? I think we have the IntelliJ license to give away as well, don't we?
Oh yeah, I mean we have
Why
also
not?
the IntelliJ license. So this is gonna be. Why? I mean, why not? I mean, this is good. Why people are here for the stuff, for the swag, and for the
We
swearing.
provide
So
both.
why not drop everything? It's not that it's a wasted license. People are gonna use it, and the sooner we have Compose, Jetpack Compose on IntelliJ, the better. I also tweeted about that because I'm getting very angry at Android Studio lately. So I'm just putting a lot of pressure on JetBrains. Hi, JetBrain people. So I can use it with Jetpack Compose. I would like to use it also with Compose for desktop is working. So Jetpack Compose, yeah, please port it. But that said, what do we want to do? How do we want to start? I think Yossi's muted. Jossi, are you muted?
I am muted. This is
super.
This is just a habit because I'm always, well, not always, but I'm often running Gradle builds while I'm in meetings. Very good at time. So I mute myself because it gets like really, really loud, and apparently, just like using Skype just challenges my computer more than running like 2 Android Studio instances and like 2 Gradle builds. So yeah, that's why I'm muting myself. Tell me if it gets too loud. I hope you don't like hear too much fan
Seems
noise.
fine so far.
No, I mean so far so good.
We are also applying a fuck ton of noise cancelling on the audio. So hopefully,
yes,
so am I.
So that's I mean it's surprising that we don't sound like aliens so much, like weird processing. But yeah, so far so good. So today we have Jossi because he worked on Accompanist, and he's quite an expert on a bit of Accompanist that we want to use in the app.
Should I share the screen?
Sebastiano.
Let's share the screen.
Yeah,
okay, so now everyone can see the screen. Yeah, so Jossi, do you want to introduce what you've been working on?
Yeah, for sure. So, when you were using the navigation library before, back in the old days with fragments and activities and stuff, and you wanted to like have a bottom sheet, you were able to, in your navgraph XML, declare a bottom sheet destination because you were able to declare dialog destinations. Did you ever do that?
I did not. Mostly because I didn't use, like, I kind of stopped using, like, doing Android seriously, just to keep doing it on the side. Oh, thank you for the cheer, Shadownet.
Thank you for the sub
as well. I missed that. I kind of stopped doing Android and focused on desktop side of thing, pretty much at the same time where navigation actually became really useful, because at the beginning when I was still doing Android and navigation I just launched, it wasn't really working for me. There was a lot of stuff that was still missing, and by the time I could have used it, I was actually doing other stuff. So I'm kind of getting back into navigation at this point.
I see. Yeah, I mean, navigation has definitely come a long way. I don't actually know like when that dialog destination support was added, but like it's kind of useful if you think of like a dialog or maybe a bottom sheet as something that's not like local to a screen, but that can be called from multiple places in your app. It definitely makes sense to go and reuse that, right? And kind of, have it tie in with the rest of your navigation. So at some point they started, or they added support for that in the old navigation component, and then I was working on, big jump to Compose is kind of out, or Compose is in alpha, and I'm like working on an app that we built internally, like a simple to-do app. And we have a bottom sheet in there. I'm like, okay, how do I do this in Compose? And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go use navigation, right? And then I just went, wait, what's going on? Why is this not working? Turns out, yeah, it's just not supported out of the box. And I was like, well, this sucks. I settled for some solution that sucked. And then I think I sat down like on a Friday night. I was like, I'm just gonna hack some stuff together. And I guess then like I tweeted about it. Yeah. Like I tweeted about it, I guess, or I sent it somewhere, and then Ian from the navigation team was like, well, if you want to contribute a patch with code that's a little less hacky, you're super welcome to do so. And then it took a couple of months, but I sat down like writing this in an acceptable quality. And essentially it's a library that brings that support for specifically bottom sheet destinations to the Jetpack Compose navigation component.
Mark was pointing out in the chat.
Nice.
Yeah,
we have a question.
Mark was kind of asserting / asking if you had to wait for multiple backstacks to be implemented first.
Yes and no. I did start working on it before, and kind of like before that was out, but like while I was working on it, I guess I started working on it in around February or March. And that's the time when all of that huge refactoring navigation was in place, where they were working on supporting multiple backstacks and like abstracting things and extracting things out of implementations and moving things around. And it definitely did play a part. Like I would have needed a lot more kind of like workarounds and hacks if we didn't have support for multiple backstacks. So it was, in a sense, it was needed. Yeah.
But you were adventurous and you started before it was actually there.
Yes. Let's call it intentionally adventurous. Okay. Not, I just didn't know.
Okay. I like when you are like mindfulness brave, my thank you for the support. Yeah. That's a lot of beats. And so thank you for the support, and thank you for being brave, Jossi. don't wait for other people to build shit. Nice, I like it.
I actually have a follow-up question to that, Jossi, if you don't mind. I'm curious about the process to get the library into, well, the library did the component into Accompanist. So you said you started with a hack implementation. How did the process of getting it up to shippable quality, let's say, how did it go? Did they help you? Did you get in touch with people? Did they get in touch with you?
Yeah, for sure. So I think I started end of February or start of March, somewhere around there. And I was in contact with Ian, mostly just asking him like really, really stupid questions, because I had like no clue how the navigation library worked under the hood. So it should this be a floating window destination, which is a very, very, the answer is super obvious if you've like ever looked into how navigation works under the hood a little bit more. The answer is yes, it should be, because it's a destination that floats above all other destinations. But yeah,
I mean, yeah, whatever. If you say so, yes, sure. I mean, that's the obvious answer, right? Yeah, sure. Please.
It is the right answer. I know now.
Okay. Okay.
And so we'll call that communication with the navigation team. And then also aligning and like chatting about, hey, actually, I need to do this. How do I do this? And then realizing, well, currently there is no API for it. So let's think about how we can introduce an API for it and how we can expose that, or maybe there's like a thing that's only available to navigation libraries internally in the module, but like it's not public, so how can we make that a public API and things like that. So like all these conversations took place while I was kind of building it, and I brought up a draft pull request in the Android X repository, because when I started out, I just built this like I just introduced a new module, which is called navigation Compose material. Because if you've used bottom sheets before with Compose, you'll know that they are part of the material library. And obviously we didn't want to go and, like bring in material as a dependency on like all of Navigation Compose, because that would suck. So you need an extra module that depends on Navigation Compose and that depends on Compose material. And because all of the bottom sheet APIs are experimental, there's a rule that says you can't move an Android X library past alpha if you are, or maybe it's past beta, if you are depending on experimental APIs from other modules, from other libraries, which would have been the case, right? And that totally makes sense. Like you don't want to be shipping a stable library that relies on experimental APIs. Yeah, and that's where Ian went, well, we can't accept this into Android X, but how about we talk to Chris to figure out if we can bring this to Accompanist? And we had some conversations, and I forked the repository and ported all the code over after Ian had done many iterations of code reviews.
Nice. I mean, that's a fascinating story, even from how this libraries work, because we the contribution to this library works. We had Chris a couple of weeks ago, if I can remember correctly the dates, and we were talking about Accompanist and how stable is Accompanist, what kind of relation Accompanist has with Google. So this is more. This actually makes sense, right? The idea that you have a sandbox / staging area where things get polished and then they get promoted at some level into other libraries. And so this is cool.
Yeah. Just like with all other, Accompanist libraries, I think I heard somebody say once the goal of an Accompanist library is not to exist, I guess, or not to exist in Accompanist, right, but be upstreamed. And that's the goal for this as well. Once all these APIs that we're depending on there go stable, but that's still time away.
Just wanted to let you know, Jossi, I don't know if you're looking at the chat, but people are complimenting you and thanking you. So
that's really nice. No, I haven't really been looking at the chat because I just pulled it up on my phone. That's very nice. Thank you all. I'm just reading through the comments.
We have very, very nice people in the chat.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks, Mark.
Yes,
that's really nice.
Not sarcastically. Really nice people. When they want to be nice. I mean, when they want to be mean. I mean, Mark. They can also be very, very sharp. Anyway, so yes, I never used this, and there is a reason for that, because I don't want to learn things when I can have the author coming to the show and teaching me.
You're just lazy. That's the truth, dude.
That's kind of lazy.
Yeah. That's the next level of lazy Twitter. When lazy Twitter kind of thing, you just ask. This is like lazy Twitch. Basically, I don't want to look at documentation, so I have the author joining me. But jokes aside, how would you start? Where would you start introducing this to? Do you want to look at the code just to have an idea? Can we have a run through the code, Sebastian. What do you think?
Yeah, sure. Let's do that. So let me, because I switched back to our faces because we were just talking a lot and it didn't make sense to have us in a small format. But now we can go back to the code. So first of all, I just wanted to say on the Accompanist website, there's information about the Jetpack Navigation Compose material library that Jossi contributed to. And I don't want to look at the code. I'm not looking at the code. I'm just scrolling it here so you can see it exists, but I'm not looking at it because I want Jossi to tell me what to do. Or even better, do it himself. What's better? Like, this is better than pull requests.
wow.
We just get someone live coding using code with me.
This is another level of laziness.
It's
but I
like,
totally appreciate
the pull requests are welcome.
Do it! Make your dreams come true!
The next level of that is just having someone coding for you while you just look at them and nod every now and then, pretending you know what they're doing. So I think the first step should be that we show you, first of all, where we want to use these dialogues, this bottom sheet, sorry, because right now we have a few dialogues, and I would like to replace those things with bottom sheets. So the first one, they're all in the settings for now. The first one we have is this. So like it looks...
But beautiful.
No,
beautiful.
I hate it.
Sorry.
Hypothesis is on point.
I hate it, but...
But it was good because we also found a bug. So this was
I started reporting the bugs, by the way. I have done, because I had some Compose for Desktop bugs to report as well. I reported yesterday, I think, like a half dozen issues. And I have still the last two from the last stream from Wednesday to report, but I'll do it maybe tomorrow. It just takes time, you know. But so this is one of them. I don't particularly like the fact that it's dialogue. And the same goes for this, especially this one, because this one can grow quite a lot. And I think it makes more sense as a bottom sheet. To which I actually have a question for you, Jossi. Is the bottom sheet expanding to the height? Does it go, like, can it grow all the way up? How does that work generally?
So it follows the material design specifications, and they say, so if you have a sheet that is half or less than half as tall as your container, like as a full height, then it'll wrap the content. And if the sheet is taller than half of your screen, it'll go to a half expanded state first, which fills half of the screen, and then the user can swipe up, or you can programmatically expand it to
got it.
be
Okay.
full screen, or like the full height, whatever.
So I think like this dialog will be a bottom sheet that, well, it never grows more than this, so that's probably going to be always fine.
Yeah.
Whereas this one can grow, so we can also show that scenario as well. And
yeah, I'm really excited to see how.
Yeah,
how
let's see if we can break it, because that's what we do.
I think we can.
We break shit. I would also like to have this, like all this list inside of a bottom sheet. Like, it is a very long list, so this is gonna be interesting. But you can, exclude apps from our bundling in the app. So yeah, let's see. I would say let's start with those two maybe, which are the easiest ones. Where do we start? Do we start from the navigation graph or somewhere else?
I mean, because I wanted to be a little bit prepared. I did look at how is the app built and how does navigation work earlier. So I have a rough idea of where we should start, but maybe we should walk everybody through how navigation works in your app, just to make sure we're all on the same page.
So
Nice. And with everybody, you mean me, right? Because I can't remember.
No, I was talking about Mark.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Well, that makes sense.
So Jossi, I
This is
will
gonna come
follow
back to
you,
me, isn't
and
Yeah, it's gonna fire back. It's all fun and games until it starts fighting back. So,
all right. Yeah, awesome. So we have our main activity, right, which is the app's main entry point, and basically in there we just delegate to Compose. We set up the theme, and then we have the most important thing, to actually be able to show stuff, which is the NavHost. So y'all are using animations, and y'all are using Accompanist navigation animation, and so that's where the animated NavHost comes from. Basically, it's just like an animated version of NavHost. And then in this Lambda, you can define all of your destinations. So you can tell navigation, hey, this is where you can go, and then we can look at one of the nested graphs. Should we jump to the settings graph?
Yeah.
Let's do that. So you can see that in here, so this is an extension function on NavGraph Builder. NavGraph Builder, right? So that's a builder where you can register all of your destinations. You can register nested navigation graphs. So that's what we're doing here too. We are registering a nested navigation graph for the settings. And then we have the main settings screen, and we have the apps list screen that we just saw, and our two dialog destinations. And essentially what we will want to go and do is we'll want to replace these dialogs with the appropriate bottom sheets.
let's do
should
that.
we get into it? Cool. So first thing I would ask you to do is pull up the documentation, because I always forget what the exact dependency is. Somewhere at the bottom, I think at the very bottom, there's yes. So let's copy that, and the latest version is 0.19.
We're using a versions catalog, so yeah, there you go, updated that. And we have Accompanist somewhere here. There you go. I'll just unfollow you for a second and just put this one here. And this is nav material, and just add it to the bundle here at the bottom. Okay. All yours again.
Awesome. Cool. So I guess you do want to run a Gradle sync now. Oh, we have to.
Yeah, we've added the bundle in the app module, so just adding it to the bundle, that should be fine.
Perfect. Nice. I didn't know you were able to do that. I just knew about declaring the dependency versions, but this is really nice.
This is the next level lazy. We need to thank Mark for this. Ciao, Mark, I love you. And because this is the most copy-pasted file in the world at the moment. Jetpack Compose most copy-pasted file. I love it. And it's always up to date, because we do this twice a week, so Sebastiano keeps it updated for everybody.
By the way,
hey, we
have a question in the chat from Maya. She's asking, how does your new library interact with the animated version of navigation, if at all? Does it also have animations?
Well, this is a live experiment that you're here to observe. Let's hope it all interacts well. No, we'll see how it interacts in just a second. Because we will have to. No, I don't want to spoil it. Let's wait for the Gradle build, and then because we'll get into that in just a second. This is one of the first things that we have to do, and then we can go into details there.
The sync is done, so if you want to go ahead,
Awesome.
I'm following you already.
Yeah. Let's do that. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to go and create a bottom sheet navigator. Well, we need to go and create and remember it. So let's do that here. And that is remember bottom sheet navigator. Yep, we'll do that. And obviously it's yelling at us because, this stuff definitely is experimental.
But we live with experimental.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you just...
Me too.
Yeah, YOLO.
So we'll opt into that. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, what could go wrong, right?
So,
well, according to Chris Baines, Accompanist is well tested. So, I mean, it's just like and the whole everything that comes with Accompanist is still fairly, okay. So,
you know what? Like, we do take good care of it. We do write tests for it. We hold the code to the same standards. At least I hold the code to the same standards as like if I were like contributing something to Android X. Or writing like code for my actual work. So
that's great.
Maybe a little, higher.
That's what we want to hear. Confidence.
Yes,
confidence.
So we go and create and remember a bottom sheet navigator. So if you've ever done anything with navigation, you might know that there are navigators in navigation. Who would have thought? Navigators are kind of navigation's abstraction for anything that can navigate somewhere, and the reason for that is that you'll want to have different types of destinations. So there's an activity navigator, there's a fragment navigator, there's a compose navigator, which lives in Navigation Compose, and we also have the bottom sheet navigator. So we can actually, you know what, I wrote some docs for this. Let's see if we can. It doesn't have.
I'm showing the website. I don't know if this helps. Like, it might be easier.
If we look at the API, and there, look at the bottom sheet navigator. It's on the left. So this is a navigator that drives a modal bottom sheet state for the use of a modal bottom sheet layout. So modal bottom sheet layout comes from the Compose material library, and it has a state, modal bottom sheet state, that like tells it which state is it currently in, like is it hidden, or is it half expanded, or is it expanded, and that has like all of the snapping behavior and so on, and it has the current offset and progress. Oh, this is nice. I like this. We needed some comments.
Yeah, that's super soothing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark. It's not even distracting a bit. Not even a bit.
I should play this in our dailies.
Yeah. Like a background.
So modal bottom sheet layout, it has this state, and when you start thinking about how would you integrate a modal bottom sheet layout with navigation, what you'll find is that you'll want to have a custom navigator, right? Because you need some custom behavior for bottom sheet destinations. And you will also want that navigator to drive a bottom sheet state. So what remember bottom sheet navigator does is it, if we go back into the code, it first, I think you need to follow me again. Yes. So what this does is we first, in here create a sheet state that's initially hidden, And then we create a bottom sheet navigator with that sheet state. So to register a custom navigator with navigation recently, like on Wednesday, introduced a new API, which is really cool. So now you can pass custom navigators to remember nav controller or remember animated nav controller. Yeah. So you see how it. Well, let's see. Does it?
No, I think it's just a bit of lag.
This is great. That's cool. Yeah, so we can pass that. And this is also, how it integrates, because animated nav controller in the end is just a nav controller with a animation navigator. If we go look at that code, you'll see that it just creates an animated navigator and then adds that to the nav controller that's created. Yeah, so we're also passing in our bottom sheet navigator here. And then what we have to do next is we have to wrap everything in a modal bottom sheet layout.
Before we do that, 1 second, we have a chat question, which is the Apache 64 is asking, can I create a custom navigator to support transparent pages? He's aware about dialog destinations, but using a custom navigator, is it possible to make composable as transparent? I'm not entirely sure what he means by transparent, but...
Is that, Apache, are you asking whether you can take an existing destination and make it transparent, or I don't really know why you would want to have a transparent destination, really, because in my mind you always want to display stuff, right? Can you all think of a use case for transparent destinations?
Like that would be something like one of those routing activities of all that one would have that don't actually show anything on screen and bring you somewhere else, maybe. But I don't know why you would need it.
Yeah, I'm not sure right now either. But let's see if we get something back in the chat.
We can go on in the meantime and come back to the...
Let's go in the meantime. So what we want to do next is we want to wrap everything in a modal bottom sheet layout. So we have a composable that we ship with Accompanist navigation material that essentially wraps materials modal bottom sheet layout. So we'll go and see that we import the right thing. So this that's a nice comment, Mark. So this composable accepts a bottom sheet navigator. So we'll go and we'll pass that in. We don't actually need the named argument here. It's clear enough. But let's go and let's look at the other parameters. Oh, you can't see it when I press CMD to impede
I can do it here.
Other parameters. Can you? Oh, yeah, let's do that. So we have a couple of parameters. We have the navigator that we pass in. We have an optional modifier that would be applied to the whole modal bottom sheet layout. We can pass in a shape. Maybe you want maybe you want rounded corners, or maybe you want just rectangular corners. By default, this is this just defaults to what's in your material theme.
Okay.
You can set the sheet elevation. You can set the sheet background color. But the most important thing, really, is that we pass in. The last parameter is the content, and that is what is essentially not what's in the sheet, but this is the body of the sheet layout. So when you think of the sheet layout, you have say this is your screen, right? And then this whole thing is your modal bottom sheet layout, and the sheet content comes up. And what you want is your modal bottom sheet layout, like this wrapper essentially, to wrap everything. You want this to be at the top of your tree. And then you want everything else to be inside this modal bottom sheet layouts content. I know this terminology can be a little bit confusing, and it's also a big reason why the modal bottom sheet layout APIs are still experimental, I guess. But hopefully this will make a little more sense in just a minute. Maybe it won't. Does it make kind of sense to you?
So what I understood, and we'll see what Ivan understood. Let's do a poll. What I understood...
No. Please don't...
Dude, you have a neon pizza on the wall. You must have opinions. What I understood is that the modal bottom sheet layout is essentially the thing that will that shows the background of the bottom sheet, so that the grayed out thing that is behind, and also will show the part that comes up, let's say. And then what you have to provide is the stuff that goes in here, right? This is the content.
So this is the content, but it's not the sheet content. So when you think about your sheet, the sheet comes up and you have, the grayed out area, so it takes care of that. But behind that grayed out thing, right, you still have your other content, right? So that's what goes in. That's what goes in the modal bottom sheet layouts content.
So that's the everything else.
Yes. That's the everything else.
Okay. That was not clear to me at all.
If you look at
but you have to provide it like up front. I don't get it. I mean, that's not something that I can trigger and it just shows. I have to build it as a navigation tree. I don't know at the moment how much stuff we need to wrap. I mean, do you need to wrap everything? How does it work? I mean, is it not on the spot?
Everything. Yeah, you will want to wrap everything. So in Compose, really, there are no real window APIs yet. I know that JetBrains Compose has introduced some stuff, but it's only for desktop currently, and they are looking to bring it over, to make it real multi-platform and introduce it on Android as well. But that might be, or it seems like that's more a thing that would be 2 or 3 months or maybe half a year down the line. So there's nothing that enables you to really have something global. When you think about your composable structure and your tree, you need something at the very, very top of the tree that can display the body content, the actual content, which would be underneath the sheet, and that can also take care of displaying the sheet.
Okay.
Does that make
so
more
basically
sense?
If I got it right, the moment you want to introduce one bottom sheet somewhere in your app, you need to go back to the top of the the set content kind of thing and wrap the whole thing in this new bottom sheet enabled word, basically. And at that point, you can basically use them whenever you want, but then you need to actually make the whole app bottom sheet enabled. Say at some
you
level.
do. Yes.
Is it? Okay.
You do. So
I mean, if you have in mind a tree structure, I don't know how Compose works because I still haven't read.
You should read that book.
Jorge's book. So well, I want to actually take a moment to thank Snap Mobile to actually making this possible. In October, you can get Jetpack Compose internals for free. So I'm gonna just grab a link and just put it in the chat. In the meantime, so that if you think about having it as a tree, as you mentioned, you need to basically wrap the whole tree, right? I mean, you can't wrap just like a branch or something. Either is everything, because as far as I understood, you need to provide a way to actually tell the component, okay, this is the stuff that it's behind. So, and they need to be able to, basically show everything behind if necessary, right? Whatever screen.
Exactly.
I have a follow-up question to that, which is, you don't need to do that with dialogues, but that's because dialog navigation destinations are cheating, aren't they?
They are. I mean, like, so I guess I was lying a little when I said there are no window APIs, but I mean, hey, you know what? Let's make a little jump. Let's jump into the settings graph, and I love to just like go look at the actual implementation of things. So if we look at navigation's implementation of Dialog, you'll see that this adds a destination, which is a Dialog navigator destination. And what we'll want to do is let's look at Dialog navigator. Let's take a little detour, but it'll make sense in a second. And you'll see it doesn't really do much. The important thing is it maintains its own state and it maintains its own backstack. This is what every navigator does. And then let's see if this works. If we can kind of like go and search for usages. We search for usages, and we'll see this is used in one place, which is this place. This is where it's accessed. And so what it does, right, is this composable here. Let's ignore for now where this is used, but this looks at this navigator's backstack, and then it looks at all of the backstack entries that are there, does some filtering, which isn't that important, and then for each of those entries, it'll display a dialog using the dialog composable. And the dialog composable itself, that's what's kind of like cheating, or we're getting in real deep, because it uses a dialog wrapper and a dialog layout, and that just uses an Android platform dialog underneath. So it's something that's like completely, like it just completely out of your view hierarchy, which might be a good thing, or composable hierarchy. But it's like it's a new window and stuff like that. So it's kind of cheating. And that's why this works for dialogues, because for dialogues, it can just like actually display an Android dialog, but there's no such thing as an Android modal bottom sheet layout, right? There's just bottom sheet fragment, which comes from material, I guess. And you can't just like as easily show a fragment as you can show a dialog on Android. That's the whole like big explanation, jumping into all of like navigation.
But that's the
stuff.
lovely part about Compose. It's like, oh yeah, I want to explain all these things. Just control click, or command click, and you get to the point, and it's like, oh yeah, that's why. That's what's happening.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, it's really, really nice. I want to see real quick if we can go look at dialog wrapper. Yeah, it's in there. And it does implement dialog.
Well, Apache 64
so this is just
kind of elaborated on the question, so we can probably have a second go.
We can have a second go at that in a second. So yeah, really just like the reason why you can't do the same for bottom sheets is because dialogues in Compose are cheating. You can see, right, this is the Android implementation, and then this dialog wrapper actually implements like Android.dialog or whatever it's called. So it kind of sucks. And maybe that'll change in the future too, like once Compose gets real window APIs.
In fact,
but yeah,
that's majorly different in Compose for desktop because there are windowing APIs, so dialogues are, actual windows.
Exactly. Yeah, I was like, recently I was like looking at Compose for desktop, and I was like, oh, there's that window API. Like, I want to have the same. My life would be so much easier with that. Yeah, but no, gotta suffer. Maybe that's something for like whatever Compose 1.5 or Compose 2, whenever that, or if that comes out, who knows.
So let's go back to the Apache's question.
So do we?
But even maybe we can run the first giveaway in the meantime while we read and parse what's in the question. What do you think?
Yes. So what do we want to do? Stickers? So we can do stickers. Oh, just to remind you, the giveaway on YouTube is still open. So if you want to comment and you want to win an IntelliJ license, go to the last video in the playlist, like the previous episode, and you can say mozzarella, and then we can pick the winner from I would say, what do you think if we do stickers and Berlin ticket right now? We take 5 minutes. Okay, beautiful people. So for the next 5 minutes, if you type, let me get the word because the bot needs to be precise. So this is what you need to type to join the giveaway for the Berlin DroidCon free ticket. So for the next 5 minutes, boom, the timer is running. If you type curryverse, you get to play with us for stickers and free ticket for the Berlin DroidCon. Good luck, everybody. Anyway.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's also true. Yeah, that's also true. So thanks, Seb. PSA for the giveaway on YouTube. We need to find you, so you need to open your. Oh, nice. You need to open the. Oh, just good. Okay. Plus, we owe Mark a variable, so keep it in mind. Please, let's go back to the question.
But look at that. Look at the latest message from the Apache. We already answered the question. I'm actually not sure if we did, but I'm really happy.
That's a lot of stuff I don't have to read. I'm happy.
So well, anyway, we have 2 questions more, so we can go there.
Wait, I do wanna like give a brief answer for everybody who maybe didn't catch the answer like I did. So I think essentially, the Apache was asking, can you like have one destination on top of another? And yes, you can do that using floating windows, right? Which I mentioned earlier. Like, think of them as like ghost destinations, maybe, which comes close. So yeah. But we do have 2 other questions. Yeah. I just see currywurst in the chat, so that's all I see. If this is cheating, are there plans to replace this, or is it going to stay as is? What exactly are we talking about? Are we talking about?
I think it was referred to the Dialog implementation. The weird wrapper that probably we went through there.
Yeah. I mean, like, I think there are plans to replace it, but yeah, you would have to go and ask an actual like Googler who knows all of the secret plans.
Well, let's talk names. Who do we need to ask so they can come here? We can ask.
You know what? Like, I think you should definitely talk to Matvey from the material team, because I had a chat with him about window APIs and so on a while ago, and I was like, this would be so nice to have. So Maybe you can get him on.
and you should come in the chat and ask him like 15 times with different users.
Yeah.
This is what I already am doing, but I'll just do it again.
So do we have somebody in the audience or somebody in the chat asking? So Jossi 1, he's asking, they're asking. So there is another question by Jossi 2, and they're asking something similar. And they have and Jossi 3, and I was like, yeah, probably your nickname game needs to get up a bit. But jokes aside, yeah, I mean, why not, Sebastian? We can definitely try to reach out to more people working on this. Okay. So in the meantime, we're running ads, and we are also notifying people that don't have a sub that we are running ads. If you are noticing ads, if you didn't join us for a couple of weeks, we have in-stream ads because we want to avoid pre-roll ads. So this is a necessary evil thing because we want to grow the channel, and pre-roll ads are like a channel killer, basically. So if you have new people joining, like random viewers that just want to give it a shot and give it a try, and they have to like see like 30 seconds of ads because we can't actually do anything about it because Twitch. So we are running ads during the stream, so you don't have to see the pre-roll. That said, if you really hate ads, you can subscribe because subscribers don't have ads, and you can subscribe for free using your Amazon Prime subscription. So if you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can connect it to your Twitch account, and you can subscribe for free every month to one channel. You can subscribe to our channel,
subscribe to our channel.
you can get swag. You should subscribe to our channel because you can get swag. On that note, the 5 minutes, I'm just doing this because everything just ended. I have a bunch of timers that just went off. So I'm doing it, because I can't remember shit. So I have like a stream deck full of timers going, like ad timer and the giveaway timer. So countdowns all the way. So the giveaway timer is over. So I'm just gonna run it. Roll it, the Apache 64. Congratulations. You just got I guess more stickers because I have something for you here that I'm gonna ship tomorrow. So I don't know. I just need to open the letter and put more stickers in it. But probably the best is the fact that you are going to the Berlin Dragon for free. Congratulations. I'm gonna reach out later and we are gonna send you the code. I guess it's a code, right? It's a coupon that you put on the website when you buy.
Yeah, probably.
Right?
I think it is.
Anyway, congratulations. And that's not a bug, it's a bot, so we are not even doing it manually, for God's sake. We are just pressing a button, so it's completely random.
Shall we do the last call for the YouTube videos?
Yes, let's do the YouTube videos. I'm gonna try to put the details here in the chat again. What do we have here? Something like this. Voila. So this is the details that you need. If you want an IntelliJ license, if you want to join the giveaway, just go to the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment with mozzarella, and remember to open your YouTube video subscriptions privacy. It's a necessary thing. I mean, you can just open it for the time being during the giveaway, and then you close it, whatever. And that's no, you don't have to keep it open. We just need to find you when we run the giveaway. So that's it. And let's go.
Yeah.
So let's give it another 5 minutes, and then we go back to the thing. Please, let's go back to some coding. We also coded this thing. I mean, people live code. I mean, we're advertising the thing like, live coding stream. So let's do some coding.
Hey, we did have a question from Fabio, though, that we didn't get to yet. So Fabio was asking if if you are using Accompanist navigation material, if you can customize the sheet shape further down in the tree. And the answer is right now, no, you can't. Honestly, I just never thought about that use case. But that being said, just shoot a feature request, just file an issue on Accompanist, and I'll be very happy to bring that in.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes so what you mean is that the round or the round border of the round corner of the sheet, that's the custom shape, or
yes.
like the
yes.
Okay.
You can
the moment you set it, that's the applied globally to every bottom sheet. This is the current status.
To every bottom sheet that's wrapped in this, yeah.
By the way,
okay.
There is no way to change it.
Can you? One thing that I was wondering is, if you have a bottom sheet that only applies, like you can only get to from one screen, can you wrap only that screen into this, or do you still need to wrap it at the top level?
I mean, you can do both. Yeah, you can wrap it at local level, but just remember that you do kind of, I never tried. What I never tried is like registering this bottom sheet navigator at the top of the tree, and then like only having the modal bottom sheet layout way down in the tree.
Do we want to chance it?
So I don't actually know. We can challenge it. I don't think it'll work. But we'll see. We'll see. So maybe it will.
I think like this wouldn't be a proper Code with Italians episode if we didn't try to break something. Like, we normally don't do it on purpose.
Let's try to break it. Let's try to break it.
We never do it on purpose.
Yeah.
It just that happens, right? That's the nature of what we do. It's the industry. It's more like, when you blame society for it. It's the industry. It's not me, right? It's the industry.
Oh, for
Fair
sure.
enough. So we are also running a poll because Mark asked for it. So should he start drinking or not? So please vote so Mark can outsource decision in his life to the audience. Bro, go for it.
Well,
please
Jossi, really. Yeah.
We are outsourcing everything.
Sorry,
Even
Wait, shall we drink? I mean, yeah, it's after 4, so I mean, and it's after 4 somewhere. Here it
Even
is
in
for
the
sure.
UK, so I think Mark is on the safe side, right?
I think he is, yeah. There you go. So the answer is
if you're voting on the poll,
now.
anything other than yes, you're probably wrong.
I mean, you shouldn't have asked this question to a
Fair
tournament,
enough.
so just saying.
Also true.
Okay.
I mean, let's
Yes.
go back to some code, because we took like a huge, we sidestepped this a bit because we were talking about like modal bottom sheet layout and the content. So just to like recap that, we're creating modal bottom sheet layout and we're wrapping all of our other code that'll be underneath the sheets in this modal bottom sheet layout. Because this is what's kind of like responsible for, then displaying the sheet on top of that content, that background. So for that, really what we have to do is we're gonna take this NavHost composable declaration, and we're just gonna paste it in here.
Boom.
Okay.
Done.
That was easy.
That was easy, right? And now we're done. Well, what else do we have to do? Now we are ready to go and start adding sheet destinations. So I remember we were saying we want to add a bottom sheet in the settings screen. So let's jump to the settings graph. What do you want to do first? Which screen?
I would say
which screen do
the
you want to do
first
first?
dialogue we have, because it's the easiest one, probably.
Yeah. Let's do that. Let's try that first. So I'm just gonna remove this line here, because we won't have a dialogue anymore in a second. And then we can just use the bottom sheet extension. Oh, of course, it's yelling at us because
Everything is experimental.
was it called experimental? Yes, this is what it's called. Everything is experimental. Should we opt into this as well here?
Yeah.
Let's pull that in there.
I mean, we also reached consensus, so go for it.
Yeah.
I just went for it anyways.
And I would say once.
I mean, if you can do it. No, if you can do experimental star and use a wildcard, so we can opt in everything, and that's it. Or if there is a YOLO class that that basically wraps everything.
There should be a YOLO mode on the Kotlin compiler, which is just like ignore all of these things. But it would get misused so much.
So maybe we can create a compiler plugin for the Kotlin compiler. It's just like, no, that's fine.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah. We can do it with Pablo. We can use Arrow Meta for that. So we have another
trust me, I'm an
excuse
engineer
to do
mode. Or hold my beer. I don't know. Depends on the time of the day.
Yeah, the hold my beer Kotlin plugin. The hold my beer Kotlin compiler plugin. I already love the idea. This is something that we need to do.
This is horrible.
Now, what could possibly go wrong?
Why? No, don't be like that.
Oh my god.
You know the bad Android advice Twitter account that has been silent for a while, but that would be like
Twitter
content
account.
for them, I guess.
Oh,
yes.
for sure. Yes.
You
know how there's like, when you're going to study computer science at uni, you might have some ethics classes, hopefully. I feel like writing stuff like this should kind of be part of it.
Yeah, like a study case, right? That kind of stuff. They're gonna just point to, we have some video material, and they point the students to our stream. I mean, that's still, it's not bad publicity. It's as long as publicity. So I also got another timer, another countdown went off. Sebastiano, do you want to run the
I would say let's
giveaway
finish this
on
first.
YouTube?
Let's get the dialogue showing on screen.
Perfect.
Yeah, let's hope it actually shows. So I think let's just try to run it and let's see what happens. Maybe
wait. Let me run a
dude.
For this.
You should have done it a long time ago.
No, come on.
Okay,
come
go
on. For it.
Don't act like your Gradle build is fast.
No,
There's plenty of
go
time.
for it.
I guess that
this is gonna.
While I am screen sharing, live streaming, and another bunch of things, even a Ryzen 5900X can struggle with Gradle. But it is actually taking a lot longer than usual, probably because it's the first time we build it after adding the dependencies. So it hasn't downloaded them yet.
Well, we included a new dependency, and we updated all of the Accompanist versions, and that now depends on. Oh, look at that! Oh, that's Accompanist updates for you. Talking about Accompanist updates.
Ship it.
Okay.
Page count is not needed anymore.
Ship it. Well, there's a. You know what? So I guess the horizontal pager
I
APIs
guess
have
so.
changed a bit.
So if the count is actually here, okay. So it's it needs the state, but I don't need to pass a custom one. Or I know I do. I still need to pass it in because it does some stuff. Okay, whatever. And this is count is 5. And I guess drag enabled is not a thing anymore.
It's not a thing anymore. I saw an issue about it in the
Okay.
Accompanist repository. I think it'll come back, but it might not.
Is it
I'm not sure.
fling behavior? No, that's a different thing. Oh well. Let's just run it. Whatever.
Oh well.
Yeah, it's fine.
Just go for it.
Yeah, but just while it builds, what the Apache is saying on the chat is it's technically possible to disable IDE warnings about experimental things using free compiler args in the Gradle file. That is true, but you need to do it for all of them, and at that point might as well opt in. Unless you use them in a gazillion different places, at which point that saves you from having to put the opt-in everywhere. There was a good article published today by Martin Brown about this very topic, which I am going to look for. Just give me a second. Well, you can talk about something in the meantime.
I just like really anxious to
Okay,
see
let's
if people
do
show up.
that. Okay. Nope. That doesn't
There's
do
a
anything.
moment of truth. Nope, not showing up. Oh, I'm sorry. This is it. Just doesn't work. We're deprecating a library. Well, let's look into why it doesn't work. I think I'll ask you to go and pull up the
Sure.
documentation just to double check that I haven't missed anything.
Yes, sir.
First thing. Well, let's go and look at that guide there. So first off, we register this navigator, right? Then we have our modal bottom sheet layout, which we wrap everything with. No, this looks fairly good. This looks fairly good. We are on the latest version, right? We are on 0.19.0.
Oh, well, of Accompanist for
right?
sure.
I'm pretty sure we are.
Yeah. I don't know if there's
Awesome.
like a newer version of Compose navigation.
Well, there's Alpha 10, but I'm pretty sure it should have pulled that in.
Yeah, I should have been doing that, otherwise the constructor we were using wouldn't work, I guess.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the build would have failed otherwise.
But might as well update that as well. Let's see if it works now. No, it does not.
No, it doesn't.
We have broken things.
Wow.
Yes!
Maybe I have broken things.
It's likely us.
So maybe it is. So what I would like to try first to go and debug this is to just replace the select days dialog with a text. Just to see, like, does it make a difference or doesn't it? I'm actually not sure.
So I'm gonna go and do it and have text. Mark actually had redeemed a variable name like hours ago, so I shall use that for the text that we're showing. It's not a variable, but it's close enough. I just need to find it.
It's close enough.
It was.
It's in the chat.
Thank you.
Just put it.
Because I probably missed that. I was scrolling up essentially to the beginning of the stream. Okay, let's try this.
For the question, yes, it's I'm using Google Assistant.
Look at that.
Is it working? Okay.
Oh, we can figure that out in a second. Oh, I think I know what's wrong. So I will take a quick bathroom break. Either you guys, I think you
Yeah,
still
we can
have
do
a
that now.
giveaway, right? Or you can look at the dialog.
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Coolio.
I'll see you in a sec.
Seb,
Yes.
so let's do the giveaway, and I'm very proud to say that you finished the app. So very proud
Well,
of you.
it's not finished, but it exists.
So
there's something.
So just to give the audience some context. So we are doing Compose a bit everywhere lately, and so a couple of weeks ago, well, a few weeks ago, we spawn a new project. Is it a word? Spawn?
Yeah.
Like I know. So we are building this app to help streamers to do things. So we realized that, you know, streaming on Twitch is not just, oh, you go to Twitch and you press play and OBS starts streaming and everything is fine, you know. But there is a bit of maintenance to do, and then we started giving away swag and stuff. So we wanted to try to automate things. We looked at the current solutions. You are aware that for a few giveaways on YouTube, we were using this external software to pick a comment from the list that we have. But, you know, we wanted to try to build something that it's more like suiting our need. So we started with this Compose for desktop app, so I can use IntelliJ to build something with Compose. So I'm a very happy kid. And plus, this is fascinating for me because for the first time in a long time, I can build a desktop app that doesn't make me want to kill myself. I'm talking to you, Electron, and that kind of bullshit, right? So this is the app. There are a couple of sections on the left. It's more like looks like a navigation drawer kind of thing. And it's going to be also Twitter is going to be there. And so the main focus is the YouTube one. We have the list of our subscribers. So this is fetched from the API. This is why we tell you that you need to open the subscription, because if you look at the counter at the top 206 items, that shows you the amount of people that actually open the subscription on YouTube. But in reality, we have almost 600 subscribers. So, you know, most of the people, they keep it closed. So to run effectively a giveaway, we are checking this 206 followers, subscribers on YouTube. And Sebastiano built the API, the UI for this. This is very nice, Sebastiano. And there is also a pick winner. So can you walk through? This is live demo.
Yeah. This is gonna break so badly.
So yeah, that's why we don't do demo. So Sebastiano, so this is basically how you pick a winner. You pick a winner from a comment.
Yeah.
There is a list of our.
I might need to restart the app because the app
videos.
does not refetch data yet. So I just realized I might need to very quickly do that. It's doing things. Okay. Let's see. Okay, now it's refetching the data. Okay, there's still only one comment on YouTube, so it's pretty clear who's gonna win.
Yeah, but I want to run. Let's say if this thing works, right? This is like a QA session for the app. So you click there.
Yeah.
Fancy stuff. There is also some sort of animation,
Not
right?
yet.
At some point. Okay.
But it is a custom layout.
It's in the next
so there's that.
It's I like the filtering, by the way. So it's the next sprint is gonna contain the animation.
Yes.
So you can pick the only subscribers, and you can pick the word that selects the comment. So what if? Look at that. So they had a typo in mozzarella. So if you type it correctly,
there's
nobody's.
I cannot pick a winner. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So let's be less jerks than that. So let's say, how does it work? So
I think I have a bug. Oh no, now it works. Okay.
Or
Now it works. It's fine.
Okay.
I think that the condition
Go
to
for
enable the button is probably broken. It's fine. I might have committed this stuff
no
like 10
problem.
minutes before going live, so it's okay.
Yeah. And now we are live demoing,
Yeah.
so that's perfect. Can you pick a winner, Sebastiano? Show me the winner. Look, oh nice, that's so fancy. Look, I love it. So Jovan Suzic,
Yeah.
maybe. Sorry for butchering your name. I'm gonna just reach out to you on YouTube. Congratulations for your free IntelliJ subscription. So if you want, join, please keep an eye on our Twitter. We are gonna run a lot of the stuff on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel, like the videos. Thank you for the support.
Yes.
Go. Let's go back to code.
There's a question in the chat.
We had a
which navigation library did you use for the desktop application? We haven't yet. Well, not on the main branch. I know Ivan is adding something on a different branch, but I don't remember which one.
Yeah, so it's the Twitch branch. So we are gonna merge it in a couple of days, I guess. We are experimenting with a library called Decompose, if I can remember.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, yes. I can link it in the chat, and it gives you a couple of things, and it gives you also the life cycle aware kinda container, a sort of like a view model that you will have on Android, but you have it on desktop. A bit of state management in the UI. Just gonna search the link. It's nice. So far, so good.
Yeah. So
Thank
the
you for the
Apache
question.
was also saying about Decompose is a good choice. That makes it 2 out of 2. Approved.
Yes. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But now I want to know, Jossi, what's going wrong?
Man, I have no clue.
Well, you said you knew.
Driving me to desperation. I thought I knew. No, I don't actually know.
Okay.
So it'll be fun to really just like go about this step by
Let's
step.
debug
Do
this.
you have any idea what could be going wrong?
No?
So I know that we've like had, so in the past release of Accompanist, so version 0.18.0, I introduced a major bug which kind of led to bottom sheets not really being shown most of the time. So there's a huge issue with materials, bottom sheet layout, which essentially means, there are some synchronization issues. If you call show on the sheet state too early, which is what you used to, show the sheet, it could still be, you could be calling it while it's kind of like still layouting and still figuring out like how tall is the sheet content and so on. And that's what we've kind of like been having a lot of issues with. The fixes that we brought in were like really, really bad, really, really dirty. So I'm hoping it's not that, because that would be really bad. We're considering, rewriting the internals just because of that too. But, the fact that like we can display a text is kind of weird to me. So figure maybe we could go about this like step by step, and just like, I was looking at the select the days dialog, and maybe we can just like bit by bit pull in more things.
I think like the first thing we can definitely do is remove the top level card that we don't actually need anymore. That was only needed for the dialog destination.
Yeah. Oh yeah, let's do that.
So that maybe that helps. Who knows?
Maybe that helps. Who knows?
Let's see. Let's comment this out. Re-import it. Shall we?
High quality.
Shall we run it? Maybe it was the card.
Go for it.
It's like it was the butler.
Maybe it was the card.
It was the butler.
In the library with the chandelier. Nope, it was not the card.
It was not the card. Man, I'm really... So what what I would like to do as well is I would just like to, in the bottom sheet where we've registered the bottom sheet, I think I'll want to go and just like add an old school print line.
Nice, I like it.
Because so this lambda, right? This is a composable. And so, you know, I want to know if this composable, the content of the sheet is actually being composed, if this is being executed or not. I mean, I guess yes, it has to be because it was showing the text, but I just want to make sure.
That's a good point. This kind of ties in with a question we had on Wednesday from someone in the chat that was, how do you know when your stuff is being recomposed? Well, your code gets executed. That's when it gets recomposed.
Yes. Yeah.
Put a print
this
line.
Is one of like good old print line.
Let's see if Logcat is helping figure out things. Okay, let's run this. Yep.
Okay.
Look at that. Cool.
So we know this is running.
That's like, on one hand, that's good.
On the other hand,
because we know it's running. On the other hand, that's really bad.
What's going on?
That's
yeah.
So, in that case, I would really just be like,
shall we just take out a bunch of things?
Yeah. Let's comment this out, because this is what I'm suspecting it to fuck things up. Let's see.
Let's see if we have a guilty party. Yeah, okay.
Look at that. We do. So
okay.
Here is what I'm guessing. So this dives a little bit deeper into how this works, but essentially, when you navigate to a bottom sheet destination, the bottom sheet navigator looks at its backstack, right? So when you navigate to a bottom sheet destination, a bottom sheet destination will be added to the backstack.
Thank you, Hugo.
And then the bottom sheet navigator will get notified about that, and then it'll update the sheet's content to be the content of that destination, right? Which is our lambda, so our select days dialog. And then it'll call show on the sheet state. So it'll call show to actually like show that sheet. And there is a really fun bug in materials modal bottom sheet layout where if you change the sheet content, that causes it to update some internal values. And when you try to call show while those values are updating, the animation will get canceled, so the show call will get canceled. Kind of guessing that's what happens here, because we have the collect state, right? So first this is empty, and then it gets stuff. So I think kind of like my next step would be to just like try and use some static data. Can we do that?
I was putting a delay in there.
Okay. Let's do that. We can go and do that. Yeah.
We can do.
This is like pretty much what we're like.
This is not something anyone should ever do, by the way. It's just to try and figure out what's going on.
No.
Yeah, please don't do this. This is pretty much what we're doing.
I don't know if it's gonna. Is it gonna build? I don't know, because delay is suspendable, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
Is it gonna build? Okay.
It's a map, so.
Why the delay for each was deprecated? Out of curiosity.
The what? Sorry.
There is a delay on each that was deprecated. Out of curiosity, it was delay each.
Use on each delay, but.
Use.
Or I guess this one is on start. I can use on start, I guess, but I don't think it matters too much.
because this is mapping on every state.
Yeah.
Okay, well, whatever. Just
Yeah, I
go
guess
with
like
whatever
this
you
is
want.
the
I was just
same
curious.
thing as doing on each delay, I guess.
Mhm.
Should be this. Should be the same. Yeah.
Should be the same, yeah.
Okay, let's try and see if this helps. Like I put 100 milliseconds. That is hope.
If that doesn't work, we'll try to
Yeah,
increase
exactly. I was gonna say. Yeah.
Nice. We tried the sweet spot.
it. Look
Boom.
at that.
Okay.
So I guess you have another issue to file.
Yeah, true story. Well, let me create a marker in the
It
stream.
sounds like you already know about the
Um,
problem, Jossi, though.
Jesus Christ, I know about it. I spent 3 weeks on it. Do you wanna look at the code that I wrote that kind of like fixes most of this issue?
Sure.
So
I'll follow you.
let's go in. Yeah, if we go back to top level navigation, is this it? Where do we have? No, it's main activity.
Yep.
Yes, where we create the
Yeah.
navigator. Or actually, this is where we create the navigator. Let's jump into the navigator implementation, which is just down here. So we have this composable, which looks at the backstack and then does some stuff, yada yada yada, looks for the latest entry. And we have the sheet content host, which we pass the latest entry. Right? That's pretty much the important thing about this. So if we go look at the sheet content host composable, it does stuff like this. So we have a disposable effect. So this is an effect that runs whenever this backstack entry changes, and then when this leaves the composition, or this effect leaves the composition, so aka it gets recomposed with something else, like with another backstack entry or with no backstack entry. Then, so we have this undisposed, then it hides the sheet. So this is responsible for showing the sheet when we compose this with the backstack entry initially, and then hiding it again. Now you'll see that we have a beautiful, 20 lines of comments. Yes.
The mark
So
of
what
the
we do
beast.
is we await a couple of times. Yeah, this is it. Was that intentional that you were saying the mark of the beast?
Read it as you like.
Just asking. So we before we actually are ready to call show due to that bug, right? We wait for a magic number of frames that I found out by carefully debugging, and then I just added 2 frames just to be a little on the safer side. And then if this gets canceled, if the show call gets canceled, which it might, or which it currently always is, the animation might still complete, right? Like it gets canceled, but it might still complete because it snaps to a state. So you would think that if this gets canceled, it's not successful, but that's not what happens. So we have the timeout where we just we wait, and then we have a great while where we just wait for we just wait for the next frame until this sheet state, until the sheet is actually visible. Yeah. So we have there's this comment here. For safety, we only wait for 800 milliseconds. If the sheet is not visible until then, something has gone horribly wrong. And that's what I'm thinking is happening to us. This is beautiful.
Oh, come on.
Lovely.
Oh, that's savage. Oh my god.
That was great timing. I'll just say that was great timing.
Yeah, he has been waiting. He has been waiting for this for 10 minutes probably. It's just with the finger on the button. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah. So
how can we
Just
dig
so,
into
like-
it? I mean, you say that you have an idea
Oh.
that, well, I mean, if something goes wrong, probably we are in this case, right? We are in the catch
we
because
are. Yeah,
okay.
we are.
So what could
And really
go? I mean,
there's-
this sounds a bit. What could go wrong? I mean, when will we be in the catch block? Like, as an exception, is something that is too slow? Is something that we can
It's an
control from the
exception.
system? Okay.
So there is nothing that we ourselves, like in this app, can control. So this happens. So show is a suspend function, right? And when a suspend function gets canceled, it throws a cancellation exception, and that's what's happening here. So if you think about what's going on, is we call show, and then after we have called show, so this will trigger an animation. After we've called show, the list of items updates, right, from the state, and with that, the height of the sheet content changes.
Yes.
So that will cause the internal measurements that Modal bottom sheet layout keeps to get reset, which causes the currently running animation to get canceled because show, right, we were talking about earlier about material bottom sheets, right? How it might be half expanded if it's like tall enough, right? And not fully expanded at first. So because, that might have changed, like the expanded state might have changed, or the height that it should have in the expanded state, right? That might have changed. The currently running animation gets canceled. And that's what's happening here. So really there's like nothing that can help apart from adding a little delay. And I hope nobody is experiencing anything like this in their apps. It seems so far that people have been using it for static content mostly. But yeah, so a little delay is the best that we can do right now. And then filing an issue to the Accompanist repository, so I can be like, I can bring this to the material team. I can be like, hey, you're just breaking
those
the whole
damn
thing.
Italians.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, yeah, I mean that's what we do. Apparently, this is more like a QA stream than a coding stream. But that's super useful for the community.
We break stuff so others don't have to.
I mean, like, oh, for sure.
Yeah,
I guess
that's
instead of on each, we can probably just do like on start.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right, because
but there was which one?
Okay, this still works. Okay. I'm just trying them all to see if they all do the same thing, but I expect them to do the same thing. Also because it's very unlikely that this flow will emit anything while this is showing. Like it will once we start clicking things, but that's fine. You see, it emits, and this other thing is also observing, so, collecting, let's say. So it does the same thing, like it reacts to it, but that's fine. The only thing is, like, it doesn't...
Like
the done button doesn't seem to dismiss, like it doesn't animate out, it just disappears. Is that intended or
kills it?
No. It's not intended, but we're running into essentially the same race condition. We're hiding the sheet. Yeah, it's lovely, right?
Well, I mean, this.
So,
no
we do have an open issue for that, though. So we're looking into.
So can I open the new issue and just say it's like that one, but for opening it? That will take me a minute instead of maybe
hashtag.
I think we'll just close that.
Yeah, if you want to repro it, but I'm wondering, Sebastiano, how much delay do we need to add? Is it 100? Is it 50? Is it like 1? I mean, how much
I don't
would
know.
it
This is a
work?
random time.
Okay, fair enough. Because now I'm
It's a
curious,
random
because I
time.
mean, if you're running
like,
into
from-
a race condition, it's gonna be tricky to pinpoint it
Yeah,
to like a specific
the number-
time there.
kind of like the number that I found from like just hours of painful debugging of modal bottom sheet layout
Shit,
while I was kind of rolling
I
this.
feel for you, my friend.
It's like something like sometimes it was 20 milliseconds, but I think something changed. So 40 or 50 seemed to work well. So I'd love to try and go down to 40 just to see. If that doesn't work, it's 50. If it works, maybe we
That
can
works.
go lower. Who knows? Look at that.
Let's do
May-
binary search.
Not the
20.
not the for let's be scientific, but not that I mean I can perceive 100 on the stream. 100 is
20
basically
works?
not happening. This is actually nice
Let's do
working.
10. Yeah.
20 works.
It might just be the
Holy
one
shit.
frame, you know? You just
They
one-
actually Hugo is asking, is it like more like a generic number, or is it like on your specific phone number?
yeah.
Because this is running on the emulator. It might be that on a phone it's slower.
Like, here's my actual reasoning. Like, if I'm ever building something, I'm like, if it's smooth on the emulator, it'll be smooth on
I
every
don't
phone.
know.
Okay.
It's just like emulator, because like emulator performance is.
It depends on the machine you're running it on. I assure you
Look at
that
that.
the emulator on
we are
a
running
top of the line Ryzen with 64 gigs of RAM is a bit faster than a Pixel phone.
No, I
That's
mean
fair.
I can confirm since I switched to my new machine, my emulator is faster than my Samsung. That's why I'm asking. But yeah, Maya is suggesting, do you have like a magic number?
Okay,
in
now
your
we have
phone that
we have a
can
fun
refer?
situation where I'm down to a delay of 1 millisecond and it still works. So
And it works.
now I'm gonna put it to
Yeah,
0
this is weird. Oh. Okay. No. That
because it
just-
might
what
just
if you-
be like the
Yeah,
timing
maybe to
problem
zero.
might
I do
just
wanna
be
know.
that the
do wanna
coroutine
know.
needs to suspend and that's enough. Like that's what I'm. No, so
Maybe
0
just
does not
yield.
work.
Oh,
So
no,
0 does not work. Is it because delay?
So,
Yeah, it's because of this.
0 doesn't work. Oh,
yeah, okay.
So
Don't
let's
delay.
do yield.
Boo, IntelliJ, optimizing.
what if you?
Optimizing.
what if-
the-
Yeah, it's the same as
We
delay
just
0
yield.
What
essentially.
if you did 0 to 1?
Oh yeah, Hugo also wrote that in the chat.
Is it?
Now that I noticed
Yeah.
it, but yeah, no.
Yeah.
No, so 1 millisecond is the
So
magic
yield
number.
doesn't work. Okay. So you need.
Says, but hey, it's only 1 millisecond. Getting
Yeah, I
better.
mean nobody.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I
that's
think
good.
there is a ripe
But that-
opportunity to name the constant of the delay here. So if anyone wants to redeem that,
Yes. Yes. Well, I mean, we still
Mark?
need to give Mark like his variable, right? Because we did actually use it.
kind of.
Okay. Well, I mean, we're gonna run another. If you want to invest some money, for some Italian points, and name this variable, you can do it. Go for it. Hello, the trucks.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hello.
Hugo, I don't
So-
think you can name variables with a GIF, but I would like that. Oh, there you go.
I mean, I think out of all
Yeah.
of us, you have
Here
the
you
best
go.
ties to make that happen.
Oh.
So
There was. We have the name. Go for it, Sebastian.
But I will actually do this, otherwise the tech will complain.
Yeah.
at
Because
one-
we
it
are.
doesn't need to be a composable,
No,
I guess.
that's Android Studio being a bit happy-go-lucky with that. It's like, oh, you extracted within a composable. That's a composable now. Everything is a composable. There's a question from the Apache.
So why is complaining? No, it has to be a long. I think
I'll
it
fix
has to be a long.
There's a question
delay
from
is
the Apache in the chat, which is, why are we not using a view model in main activity? Data repository and preference should be inside of view model, isn't it? Probably. The reason why we're not doing it is that we haven't done
Pull
it
requests
yet.
are welcome.
I don't know.
But it's how is it? Hacktober, whatever bullshit it is. So pull requests are welcome and whatever. The project is open source. You can win some shit from DigitalOcean.
Come as a guest and fix it for us.
Yeah, you can live code fix it, live fix it. I mean, this is what we do, right? We live break stuff and we live fix it. So this is nice.
That isn't because it's Accompanist.
July, yeah, it's Accompanist. Make sure
Also
to play
like
the right people.
Yeah, we are pretty much doing whatever we want. We are YOLOing it. I like the to avoid race condition. Can you say to win race condition, because it makes me a bit more like you know some
race after all.
Yeah, it's a race. Can you win a race
know.
condition? Can
I can put cars there though.
Oh, it's awful. I mean,
Even
I hate
put the
this
link.
so much.
No. It's very important. Put the link to the issue on UTrack in the chat, and please everyone upvote that.
Oh yeah, wait, where is it? There is a. Yeah, there is. Wait, let me find it. What is IntelliJ emoji support?
That's extremely important.
Yes. No, because we need to fix this, because I come from macOS, so the emoji situation
emojis on
is
Windows
okay
are not
there.
great.
On Windows,
fun fact: emojis on Windows don't have flags.
Yeah,
because reasons. There's simply no flag emojis.
Oh yeah, that. Oh yeah, so this is a thing, right? Because I couldn't find the Italian flag the other day. So
on the plus side,
actually
the
okay.
food category has a pizza. So there's that. And
yes, because I keep using it for the tweets. So, but if you are on Windows and you like emoji and you like IntelliJ, please upvote the card the issue that I just linked. Because now that we are getting Windows 11 and emoji are going to be very nice on Windows 11, I want emoji support, proper emoji support also in JetBrains IntelliJ. Oh, look at that, Sebastiano, you are actually making art.
This is now the wacky races that Mark wanted.
I have it.
Crazy.
Wow, look at that. Wow, you are such
it will look better on Mac, I guess.
Shit, that's actually... Yeah, hashtag if you have a screenshot, please go for it.
It looks really nice for me.
It's just apparently.
Oh yeah, because you are live rendering it on. You are live rendering it.
Apparently, doing emoji rendering in the JVM on Windows is very, very tricky. So that's why it's not really properly done in IntelliJ yet. But yeah, hopefully. Because I want to put Clippy in my code. You know that in Windows 11 the clipboard the clipboard emoji is Clippy. I want Clippy in my code.
Yes, definitely.
So I can put a comment there, and it's like it looks like Pastio was trying to. I have fun with so little.
Yeah. You know. 1995, you was try.
It looks like Stu was trying to show a bottom sheet.
Oh, come on! So we have it, right? So this is good.
We have it.
Okay,
well, this is good.
I was. For one moment,
don't jinx that.
Mark just got me. Mark just got me for a second because you were scrolling and I was like on start, okay, delay, white races condition. I was like, what the fuck was wrong with the name of the? Oh yeah, Mark bought the name of the variable. I'm tired. So
you know the best part about this is that I'm gonna link that in the issue. It's gonna be like, there's emoji art. You're welcome.
Yeah, by the way, you're more than welcome.
Yeah, it's
this
okay.
Is nice,
I
right?
think it can be improved with some more spacing around stuff, but that's
padding, yeah.
Yeah, and like I guess like the text could be bigger, like title text could be bigger and maybe bold
yeah, but
or
that's
something.
not a title. It's
Yeah.
just a blurb that explains
Or like
what that is.
content.
But
I mean,
definitely starting with the modifier should have not that. Shush. It needs padding, horizontal. I'll put another 16 dips. I think that's fair.
oh, so we are probably we are gonna get
scientific
our first PR. Thank you, Avashi.
The Apache, yes, absolutely, that's great, and thank you. But I wasn't joking with the. If you want to come and do it live, I mean, if you don't, that's fine. But if you want to come and do it live, we'd be happy to have you. Mark,
Yep.
you must have not properly enjoyed Clippy first time around. If you actually want it now, no, Mark, you don't get it. Like I have experienced it. I mean, I use Word 97. I want it now because it's the nostalgia thing where all the awful things now are beautiful.
Yeah,
it's like, oh yeah, I love the stuff from the 90s when I was a
Yeah.
kid, and then when it was actually the 90s, you hated that shit, but now you love it.
Yeah, it was because we are disturbed people. That's the reason.
I think I'm
What
gonna
happened there?
throw some more padding,
padding.
to the actual picking thing there because it
Yeah,
looks shit.
Okay. Ugo, the thing is, we didn't have it because there was no. So I learned about it when first time I moved to Germany. That there was something like Italian Eurodance. We didn't have it in Italy at the time. There is no such thing.
Kinda did.
It's
Come
just
on.
something that. Well, but not in the south.
Uh-huh.
So I'm a very southern person. So we didn't have it there. I mean, what can I say? We are a very, very conservative region.
Yeah. Blue and all the similar songs were absolutely Italian.
Oh yeah, well that's fair. That's fair. But no,
Italo disco is a different thing.
Not
like Eurodance. Italo disco is a thing that doesn't exist in Italy. Fun fact. It's only a thing that happens in Germany.
That's the one.
And Germans think that it's a thing in Italy. That is not the case. I was very disappointed.
So I was referring
when I went to
Italo
disco concert in concert. It was a place where they were playing Italo disco in Berlin a few years back, and I expected to hear Eurodance essentially, or maybe disco music from the 70s. That was music I've never heard in my life.
No. Yeah. That's the one that I'm referring to. Oh, by the way, I mean, Jos, you're German, right? So you can confirm.
Germans are greatest culture. We are. Oh my god. I've never been at a party like that before, but something tells me I need to check that out.
Like expand your. So, Sebastiano, this thing is.
I think this looks good now.
You should stop at some point.
I mean, the copies.
That's fair. But the button, the done button, it looks a bit claustrophobic.
What?
I don't know if it's just me because it's the Under Studio rendering. It's a bit too close to the borders.
That's fine.
Isn't it?
I think it's okay.
It's okay. Okay, fair enough. It's just no, because I have fat fingers and I'm like 100% clicking on the
finger aerobics
button.
or something.
I don't know.
I think I feel like I would really want the sheet to have rounded corners.
Go for it. Let's do the shape thing.
Let's do the shape thing. Yeah. Do you have a theme? You have a bundle theme, right? Yeah. Let's go there. Because remember how earlier I was saying that bottom sheet layout, just like it always defaults to shape appearance.large. If we just go and overwrite that in our material theme.
By the way, fun fact about the shapes. I find the names very confusing because you say it says large, you expect a larger corner radius. That's the opposite of how it works. Large is the only one that has 0 dp.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Small and medium.
What?
Yeah, I don't actually know why.
Okay, that's
But
confusing.
it's like
okay.
Yeah,
it's
it's
for
the shape,
components, right?
like the size of the thing that you're
large.
using. So that's like large would be a bottom sheet.
Yeah, exactly.
Medium and small would be different things, like a card versus a button, maybe.
Yep. Yeah, let's go. Let's add
So
that.
do we just need to add it here?
Size of the container.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, so
The container. Okay.
separate lines. Why doesn't it? Yeah, okay. And then here we have a shape.
Shapes.
And
that'll just probably be like we want to do something similar to bundled colors, probably, right? So just like go.
I don't know.
Wait,
full
what?
sync. Sorry. Okay. Better.
Yeah, I think we just want to go material theme.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. The lazy solution.
Yeah.
Shapes dot copy, and then large is corner something something. I never remember what the fuck. Local shapes. It's composition of shapes. There you go. Oh, okay, that was fine. I can just copy that essentially, or I can even just say, just get the small.
Oh my
Small.
God.
Yeah, let's use the variable. Large equal to small.
And I think this deserves.
Sounds okay. Yeah.
I really like how high quality the code is sounding today.
Yeah. Well, I mean, pull requests are welcome.
Look at that, rounded corners. Woo!
There you go. Nice.
Oh, look at that.
Awesome.
Okay. That's a.
Yeah.
You actually think it looks nice.
What I was thinking is, like now we've set it for all the large shapes that we have, which I don't know, like, if there is anything else in the app right now. I don't think so. But for others, maybe there might be. So if you want to only set this for the bottom sheets, can we do it?
For all of the sheets. Yeah, for sure. We can just like for the modal bottom sheet layout, it has a parameter sheet shape. And it just like defaults to using the shape from the material theme. But then we can pass in whatever.
I think this is it makes me slightly less uncomfortable.
I really like to kind of like drive everything through the theme and then like leave the theming to the components to like grab the values. But of course that's like up to taste, like whatever works best.
Was because the thing here is, as you're saying, for the material specs, the bottom sheet should have rounded corners, right? So the fact that it defaults to large, which defaults to 0 corner radius, is that intended? Like, what is the rationale?
It is intended. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's intended, but I don't know
legit.
what the rationale is. You know what? I'll go take another bathroom break. I've been drinking a lot of tea.
That does
so
not
I'll be back
help.
in just a second. You'll get to enjoy the lovely Skype logo again.
I'm actually reading the chat.
Uh-oh.
I don't
it's
there is something.
It's intermittent, guys.
Oh shit.
I think I've fucked up something. Oh yeah, it's in the backstack.
What the fuck?
It's in the backstack. I've clicked it a gazillion times. So this is just doing pop. But I need to do it twice because, yeah, not appearing. I don't know, it's going back. So I'm dismissing the bottom sheet. And now I'm dismissing the...
That you...
Yeah.
So basically you are dismissing the bottom sheet that you don't see. Where's the bottom sheet?
The bottom sheet is
right?
bugging out, but it's still, the frame is still in the navigation backstack. Yeah. So you need to pop that before you can pop out of the screen.
So you're basically, back to 2 milliseconds.
Let's go and exponentially increase this until it works all the time.
Why do you think this is happening? Because we are working with the corners?
I think it's no. That's literally just the race condition thing.
Okay. Yeah, but this is uncomfortable at best.
This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, this is gonna.
Okay.
Well, wait. Let me add another marker.
What's going on?
What's
going on?
It looks like it almost always works the first time.
Completely broken.
But after the first time, it just doesn't necessarily.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I added another market on the stream, so we know exactly what.
Okay, now it's totally fucked. No.
Just broke everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh! Look at that. It's there. But now I have like probably 20 frames on the backstack that I need to pop.
You just need to click often enough.
Okay. Let's try to put this back to 40, which was the number that you said initially. Because it seems like 1 was probably just a happy accident. Okay. Seems to always work.
Maybe now it'll show 40 times.
Oh. What have I done?
What's happening?
What's happening? You completely broke it.
I'm so sorry, Jossi. I'm so sorry.
Oh, this is what I'm here for.
QA.
Well,
maybe we should, maybe we should hire you as a voluntary / kind of involuntary QA.
That's what I do in the streams too. I break shit.
Oh my god.
But yeah, that's like a trick that I picked up from QA people that I worked with in the past. Is like spam it and see what happens. And I mean, this works because I disabled the click outside.
TDD, right? It's like with TDD. Test it with 0, test it with 1, test it with 100, test it with beer. Tested with Jossi went to the bathroom, and so those are the input that you would do.
Fail.
Okay, so this seems to work well if we use it as a normal person. If we're not trying to break it, let's say, this works fine. But
so if you click really quickly,
should I install an auto clicker or something?
I think you can do it manually because that already happened. So
I mean, I'm sure I've broken it at this point. I've seen the animation start and stop and restart and like midway. So there's a bunch of them now.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I guess we're just like navigating to that destination and again, right? So
this is just.
I will say that is intended. So we will probably just like need to debounce the clicks, right?
Probably.
Yes, as a fix, yes. But how does it work from a library point of view, from a library design point of view? Would it make it like idempotent? How is English? Like that I click and if I click again, it cancels. And how would you imagine it? Because I know that doesn't. I mean, if you click 3 million times on a button, you know, that's 3 million clicks, right? So nobody's caring about this. But and so you can do the bounce on the click, and then you fix it. Would you do the same here as a solution, or would you somehow put the responsibility on the bottom shit itself? Because it ends up in the stack, in the back stack, right?
Yeah. So like, when you think about this, what really like what's going on is just like it's adding this destination to the backstack every time, and that's kind of right. That's intended. So I don't think like there's any rate controlling that we could do.
Yeah.
Just like debounce your
Makes
clicks.
sense.
Yeah. Don't try to navigate like 20 times within a second.
Okay, so while we debate that, I just wanted to show this picture from Mark. He has 2 stickers on his
beautiful.
Pixel book now.
Thank you, Mark. This is so great.
Very nice. Yay!
By the way, the sticker looks huge.
I mean, it's a small laptop, I guess.
Yeah, maybe
fair
it's
enough.
just
We need to make smaller ones, maybe. I don't know.
No, that's actually nice. I mean, I like the size, and then we can make it smaller if you want. Sebastiano, how do we debounce a click in Compose?
That's a good question.
For another episode of Code with
No,
Italian.
the thing is, to do a debounce, you would need to have a flow, and you can absolutely make a callback flow from the callback.
Click.
And then you can debounce that. I guess that's how I would do it. So where this is used in here, this one would feed, like this one would be feeding into callback flow. And then you debounce that, and then you do stuff. The downside of debouncing, though, is that it introduces a delay. So if you debounce by, I don't know, 100 milliseconds, that means there is 100 milliseconds from when the user clicks to when the user actually sees something happening.
I think what you could do, though, is you could... Wait, we're not in write composable, right? We're like, when you click the button, when you click like the text, you wanna open it, right? So I think we're looking at preferences screen.
Yeah.
Up here. Is that right? Wait. We're in the right file. Just follow me.
All right.
So this is where we declared the preferences screen, right? We're about like when you want to show the bottom sheet.
Sorry, it would be this callback that needs to...
So it would be this callback.
Yeah.
I think, so there's an interesting kind of like navigation thing that you could do. So the composable function, it has a parameter, which is the backstack entry. And you know how you can like scope effects to something, right? They have a key so that when that key changes, they get rerun. So I think what you could do is, so create a callback flow and then take the first element of that callback flow and scope it to the backstack entry. Because that means that you'll start observing again when that backstack entry changes, which is technically right, like when you navigate back.
Would you have like would you need would you be in like a disposable effect, or?
I'm thinking just like a launched effect, because collect suspend function.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm curious to see what you're thinking.
Yeah, in fact, I'm curious as well.
So I have to remember how would we create the callback flow? How do callback flows work? It's like in this body you like send.
You need to send. So you essentially have a callback in there, and in the callback you call send with the elements that you get from the callback.
How do we send from in here?
To what now?
So let's see, because ideally you would have this one passed to the callback flow. Let me think. I haven't done a callback flow in a while, so that might require some time. Let's say for now this is unit, because it just needs to emit the fact that there's a click, right? So here you have, let's see the documentation, because there's, I think, example code. Yeah. Yes, so you have a callback-based API, which is your listener, essentially, here. You define the callback, you register the callback, and then you await close. I think the big difference here is that we don't really have a callback in the same sense. We just have a lambda, right?
Can you try to do it with the channel?
Yeah, so maybe I think we probably just want a channel.
I mean, I will go full Rx subject, all the shit, all the way, and then you make it nicer. My 2 cents. Or like what do you have? Like a mutable, the new one, the shared flow. If you want to use shared flow.
But it doesn't make sense to use a shared flow here in the sense that you don't need to share it.
Never share anything.
And it also doesn't make sense to use a state flow, because state flow does as an implicit distinct until changed. So if you emit unit, all the time, it will only get called once. Also,
no. The state flow doesn't work for this. You need either either channel or shared flow. That's basically kind of the same thing at some point. Yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's go full channel unit, because you just need the signal.
Essentially, you just want the signal.
We don't even need by. It's just remember, because we really just like have the channel, but we want this to like be remembered across compositions.
Right. It's not a state, so it doesn't need that correct. Just habit.
And then you.
And then
okay, so now you can actually
hack flow.
CB.
I think you need to do try send, because we're not.
And then
or you run it inside run blocking,
of course.
But it's the same thing essentially. The alternative would be to have a scope, so you could do remember coroutine scope.
Yeah,
that would be like the right way to do it. Let's say.
Yeah.
Fine.
And then
sorry for making you write good code.
Coroutine scope. No, but this is legit, because we are doing something similar. We are passing scope constantly in the desktop app, because I'm struggling, because we don't have any life cycle yet. So this also looks legit. And now you debounce and you collect on the channel.
So now we'll do an effect, right? So we'll have a launched effect, and we'll have to think about the key again. So why
do we need a launched effect?
Because any action, like observing this, is a side effect, right? And you don't want any side effects to happen in your composition. You want your composables to be idempotent.
Yeah. Probably.
Did I pronounce it right? I hate that word, but it makes sense. So you want it to be side effect free, so that you always get the same result. And the other thing is that why effects actually make sense is, Compose can actually compose everything first, and it can schedule the effects to run once it's done composing, which makes sense.
Okay. That's actually good. So basically, you have the bounce now, and then you can collect. I guess.
Do you collect on a channel? Receive, right? It's receive. Do we just want to receive as flow?
I think it's
did they change
collect
the
as well.
API?
Or you can do receive as flow. That also works.
Oh. Let's because I'm not seeing any collect.
Well, anyway, you can just try whatever.
Yeah, and just
hey.
yeah, you can just put the debounce above the collect if you want.
Go ahead. Oh yeah.
Yeah, but so you have to receive as flow before because this is like a compose thing.
No, it's a coroutines thing.
Or
because
like
flows are similar to channels, so you can move from one to the other fairly easily. Like a flow is the read part of a channel.
It's
in
just
a way.
because you want a flow. Okay, because you want like a read-only kind of part of a channel, basically. Okay, fair enough.
Do you still have in the clipboard?
And why is complaining? What's wrong with the collect?
Cool.
I do. I don't know why it's complaining though. Oh yeah. Wait, this is an internal coroutines API. Well,
I just need to pick another. No, I think you can pick another collect. Probably just picked a wrong import or something, because collect should be okay.
There we go. This is the right one. Cool.
Is it complaining?
It was probably the wrong collect.
What's with the bounce? The bounce is like
preview,
like a.
Yeah, we need
okay.
Another.
For once, is not experimental. For once, is not experimental. More.
It's fine. Yeah, this is the text.
And it's a magic
just
number.
Gonna extract this.
Complaining about the quality of our code. Do the right thing, extract the variable, Sebastian.
Okay, I think that's a reasonable number. And a reasonable name, probably.
Wait, did we don't even need to debounce, right? I mean, we can.
Well,
no, it's fine. Let's debounce it first. Yeah,
run it.
Cool.
1 second. There's
run it and
is now runnable.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I mean, to Android Studio for sure.
Awesome. So now the question is, can Seb click twice in 100 milliseconds?
Oops.
Apparently you can. Oh, you can? Fuck me.
Oh, he can.
What? Jesus, that was quick. No, I can't believe. No, I don't.
It's like,
come on.
I don't know if you've seen today. Hadi tweeted a weird YouTube video with a guy that is the fastest person shooting with a gun in the world. It's crazy. It's like you don't see him and he shot something, and it's the same thing. the fastest human auto-clicker on the planet.
Yeah. Okay. Let's say we are on the 2 hours 25 minutes mark, and I'm just gonna pinpoint the moment where, and then I'm gonna send Hadi the clip. So yeah, you thought the guy was fast. Here you go. So what do we do?
So what's your cookie clicker high score, Seb?
I don't know, because I get bored.
Of course you did. If you can click that fast.
So,
what do we want to do?
I mean,
what are you going to do?
Is this actually debouncing? Because it doesn't really feel like it. Like I can put maybe.
It does not feel like it.
I'm going to. Yeah, I'm going
Can
to
you
put
make
1
it
second.
1 second? Yeah, go for it.
It's weird. Can I rename the constant again, Mark?
Well.
No, it doesn't change anything.
No. So what's happening is probably recreating the flow. It's
probably because the backstack
the
entry is changing. Yeah.
That might be.
Should I just check if the destination is the same? I mean, this will have our
Or can we
root.
pass the key?
Well, in
Can we
that
pass
case,
the
we
key?
can. No, I guess in that case, we could just. We know that this route will always be the same, right? If we just wanted to run once, we don't have to pass any key.
Hmm. But you cannot have a lone
like, we
effect,
can
you know,
just-
the key. Well, I mean, you can pass unit, I guess, but
Oh, yeah, we can pass unit. Like that's the way to just like run it once. And that's totally like that's valid
Still
and that's
feels
fine
weird.
to do.
Go for it. Let's see how click can Seb actually be.
nope.
Right. Nope. Wow,
Still,
that's really weird.
still double clicking. Oh, that's.
I mean, this is a normal double click.
So
I'm not doing anything weird.
yeah.
I wonder
No,
if
this
this
is
is
not
just
good.
some other issue.
Do you want another
Like-
bug?
Because this should work, right?
Okay, print.
No.
Can you print? Can you print before
Sure.
the debounce, Sebastian? I want to see how many. You know how many events make go through the debounce. I don't know if I.
I think I might know what's going on though. Let's see, like if you click, the sheet will start opening, right? And then you click again, which technically dismisses the sheet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but and it's going back to the previous
So it
frame you're saying in the backstack. Okay, well, let's see in the log chart. Apparently never.
let's see.
The fuck?
Nice.
Is it the right is it the right item in the menu?
the right
I mean, I'm
file?
just asking for a friend. Are we
Oh,
debouncing the right
No, we're
thing?
not.
no, we're
No,
not.
we're not.
This is a me.
I
I'm
think
sorry.
we are debouncing the other
it's
one.
amazing.
I mean, just saying. It's like, and I blame this on Mike. I blame Mark for this because
no. This,
he should
Oh my
be
God.
on the
Holy
on the
shit.
spot. You know, this is like 3 of us.
Oh,
This is like 3 of us. Okay.
Yeah,
And
now there's a
people- and
debounce.
people
You
keep
can see it
saying
takes
that,
1
you know, more
second.
program. Oh, look at that! Look at
Yeah.
that technology work, right? Technology work.
There
Okay,
you
so
go.
I'll maybe
Wow.
make this like 100 again.
Actually,
Oh my God. Amazing.
100. Yeah. So now I want to see how fast are you. Come on.
Let's see. Let's make it a
Now
fair
I
fight.
challenge you to double click in left. Go for it.
Sorry.
We did get it twice.
I still
Hey,
win.
I mean, what the fuck? That was impressive. But okay, but now it's just okay. Can you show log
Oh,
that?
yeah,
You
sure.
should see events now, right?
Not that one.
Close
I
enough.
copied it. That's fine. There you go. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, it's
So
true. I
it's
clicked
just 2.
1,000 times.
And
but
this is before.
Oh, can you put another line in the collect? I want to see, you know, how many
Yeah.
sure.
go through. Like and but you changed the name, like the inside or whatever, you know, like yeah, but that now you can't actually find it in
Oh,
the
come
log.
on.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay. That's how you
okay.
do
Whatever.
debug log printing.
Yeah, fair enough. I love it. At least you...
I forgot how to write. I don't know. It's not
What's
working.
happening? Okay. Yeah, you broke
I might
the
have.
double click on Windows.
Too fast.
Okay.
Okay, let's see. So if I click it once,
Yeah.
it's fine. And now I clear it.
That looks good. Okay. So 1,
Yeah.
2. I mean, that's still legit. So that's still So that's still 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's okay. I mean, you can't actually have to click. Look at that. Okay, from a debounce
the
point
debounce
of view,
is
we are
working.
there because you can't.
It's just the problem is I
Okay.
keep doing the clicking for more than 100 milliseconds, and the navigation is taking more than 100 milliseconds. I think the only way to make it work would be to put a debounce that is as long as the animation of the bottom sheet, so that it's done.
Okay.
Wait, how do you? Can we though? Because before we had the launched effect scope
Yep.
to the backstack entry. I want to see if just
Sure.
doing that works. Because if it
Works.
does, what we could do is we could just take one on the flow.
No.
Like everything is still the
Mhm.
same as before, right?
Uh,
Which is the way
yeah,
it's
it didn't
supposed to
do.
be. And like now, if we instead of like debounce, just like take one. I'm not saying this is an amazing idea, but if we just take
I mean,
one,
that works, I guess.
that works, right? And like we'll see if it still works when you go back.
Nope, it's fucked.
Yeah. So we might
Well,
have
now,
to.
yeah, I mean, you can click
But
it
hey,
once. That works.
You can click it once. Maybe
and
we
that's
can
it.
like.
And then
Maybe we can like
I mean, we're
scope it to the life cycle of the backstack entry. I was thinking
Okay.
something like that.
I don't know what this does, but
Do you see where I'm going?
yeah, well, we need to find a solution for this because this is a legit scenario. So I want to point out that this is a legit scenario.
we aren't
and,
breaking shit for the sake of it.
like capable Q. No. But I'm serious. Capable QA people
Yes.
are gonna call you out for this. So
Even incapable but very fast-fingered
we need.
QA.
Yeah. Wow, you are like a savage. But okay. So Jossi, what do you want to do? What do we want to try?
I was thinking, yeah, like, I mean, the backstack entry. So it always stays the same, I guess. It's always the same backstack entry. It's just like kind of like gets paused while the bottom sheet is showing. So I was thinking if we could look at the life cycle for the key of the effect instead, but like it feels really hacky. I don't know.
I mean, we can try it and see if it works, even if it's hacky.
We could try it. I mean, the issue is that we have to get the current state, but like a state, right? Like this right now, this is just like getting the current variable, but we would want to have this as state, I think. So this isn't great. If we did like one life cycle that current as compose state,
yeah,
is it life cycle, let's say? Yeah. And then it'd be like this, which is the life cycle dot add observer. And then there's a life cycle observer.
Yes, jumping around a lot. I don't know why. It's probably getting a bit tired.
I can understand that. Oh, nice. Yeah. Lifecycle observer. There's like a default. Is there like a default implementation?
Does not look like.
lifecycle event observer. No, I think we'll want that, right? Jeez, it's definitely always
Okay, it should be less
always jumping
jumpy
around.
now, I hope. It is not less jumpy.
Like,
I said I hope. Don't hold me to that.
well, I hope for the best. So if we just like run, if we just overwrite, nope, I can't override, can I? Okay, can we do the quick fix here?
Yeah, it should work. If it doesn't, I'll do it for you. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, if we do this, why
Yeah,
is
it should be a
complaining?
block
Oh yeah, I know why
body.
it is. It's, this is basically like a
Yeah,
callback
pretty
flow.
much. I mean, we could even create
Current.
a callback flow and just
Could even do
observe at
flow,
state,
right?
like collect the state. That would work.
That will work.
But we're
for
just
sure.
playing around, so that this is fine.
What is the first? I'll be really lazy.
Yeah.
To state, right? Oh. I'll just put it to no.
Was
wow. Okay.
Adding imports. Sorry.
Thank you. Awesome. I think there's still one
I think
more
the big
import.
problem,
yeah, this is a
it needs
composable.
to be composable. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, the alternative is to use a callback flow and do it that way.
Which, like, I don't actually know what's better. Like, both works well.
I think it's the same, pretty much.
I guess we can just.
It's probably the same.
Yeah. Like, I guess
the
it's
one
up
thing
to
I would say though is
really.
we probably don't want to do by if we want to then return current state.
Yes, you're right. And I mean, I guess we, right? This is what we would want to have.
Yeah, then there's we need to also like remove observer at some point. If we were doing production code, which we're not, so it's fine.
Can you do like yeah, no, you
Yeah,
can.
that also
Okay.
works.
Oh, we can. Does it have SAM conversion? Yeah, we can convert this to a lambda. Let's do that. That's nice. And then we can ignore the source. We're going to do that. And then I guess, you're totally right about this. Is we would want to have, well, this is not needed because it's an extension function. So just unit, right? This effect needs to run once. And then when we enter the composition we want to have add observer.
Yeah.
Isn't there like undisposed? Yes. There we go. And then we want to remove this observer. Yeah, it's a good point. And then we want to return the current state, don't we? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, because
jump
it's
their
nullable.
states. I mean, I guess, do we have like, does the lifecycle have the current state? Yeah. So we can start out with that as the initial value. Wow, really jumpy. There we go.
Okay, cool.
Nice. Now, will this actually help us? Who knows?
It's only one way to try. To know, only one way to know. Let's
Do we
go.
need to remember this state, or is it fine to have it as?
No, it's all already remember in here, right?
All right. Yeah. Sorry, I forgot that.
Oh yeah. Also, like, I guess a good way to tell if you should remember something is if it's a composable function. You can't remember composable functions.
Correct. Yeah.
If we run this now, let's see what happens. I mean, I still have my suspicion that it just doesn't work.
Yeah, it might still be broken. If it
'Cause
works,
there might be.
we'll finish on a success. If it doesn't work, we'll finish on a failure.
That's fine.
So single click works.
That's always nice.
Multiple clicks
Oh, look at that.
don't work. I think it's just,
They don't work.
yeah, it just does the first click,
No.
like ever. I think the state is actually like the life cycle state.
No, but you
is,
have the take one. You still have the take one. Do you want to try without the take one?
all right. Yeah, I need to take that out.
I mean, well, I guess like the idea would be that you go and you restart the flow right when the life cycle state changes.
But probably never changes at this point.
Yeah, it apparently doesn't change.
Yeah, no, it's still broken.
No, then we still have that.
Okay.
Well, we're finishing on a failure.
Let's call it a day, and maybe, I mean, if we figure out a way to make it work, then you can come back and we can get it
for sure. I might
properly fixed.
Yeah.
I might try to bring up a pull request and think about this.
I like the idea that we are making this a pattern, because also Chris is coming back because we couldn't fix the stuff that we were doing with him. So now you are coming back. So this is good. So that's how you make sure that you always have guests, right? That's like how do you add continuity or to your stream? You just invite people over and you try to do crazy shit. So,
and you're even continuous in who's coming on.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
There we go.
We never stop.
Okay.
But jokes aside, I really think that this is a legit scenario. So finding a solution, it will be beneficial for a lot of people. So,
oh, for sure.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Plus, Sebastiano loves to open bugs and stuff, right? He's a #1 reporter. Yes.
I will commit that I'll probably need to run static analysis, whatever. It doesn't matter. I'll do it later before pushing. Okay, we're back to only our faces. Yeah, the tracks. It looks like we might expect another stream with Jossi at some point.
So Jossi apparently just confirmed that he's gonna come back.
Apparently, I am. It'll be fun.
But jokes aside, it was nice. Thank you for coming and to bear with us for a couple of hours.
And with Skype.
Oh my god, that was the worst. Hey, it didn't crash after, so
works 100% of the time.
Fear.
After the second time. But yeah,
maybe they do take 2 on their flows. Who knows?
Maybe they have that. They have the same fix we have. Yeah, just thank you again for coming and also for explaining the internals of navigation, because it's something that I've just taken a cursory look at every now and then when I was trying to see why the dialog stuff was broken, because surprise, dialogs are broken as well, but in a different way. So there's that.
In its own beautiful way.
Yeah, yes. All bugs are unique and beautiful in their own way.
Yes.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
But yeah, just again, thank you very much for being with us. I really enjoyed today's stream. There's no failure in my book when we learn something, and we have learned that take one doesn't work. So jokes aside.
Oh, we've also learned that adding delays to your changing content in bottom sheets actually works. I'll look forward to fixing that bug. That'll be fun. Yeah.
Fun in a painful way, as all race conditions are.
Yeah. There was a very sad, a very sad feeling in the voice. But yeah, it was good. It was good. People are happy. We were having fun. They were having fun. Just to wrap up, Sebastian, if you don't mind, I want to remind everybody that stickers are coming out tomorrow. We're gonna ship the shit out of them. If you are still waiting on buying the book, buy the bloody book. We are gonna have a chat in a few weeks.
No. So it's in a week, dude. Exactly 1 week.
So in 1 week, so now you have to buy the book and read it fast. So Sebastian, who do we have next episode? Do you remember the guy? What was the name?
I heard of him before. I think Jake Wharton, probably something like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Jake something.
We're gonna do a lot more of control clicking on Wednesday. Because the topic of the stream is gonna be, okay, Jake, tell us how Compose works under the hood. Well, Compose UI specifically. So yeah, I'm very much looking forward to that. If you have questions about Compose, not just Compose UI, but Compose in general, I think it's going to be very interesting if you join us on Wednesday. Also because Jake, you might know or not, has created a command line Compose front-end framework thing. So you can create like command line applications using Compose, which is fairly interesting and a fairly different take on what you can do with Compose. That isn't just the UI framework. Well, technically it's a UI, but it's not a graphical user interface. So yeah, we'll see you on Wednesday with Jake. We will have DroidCon London tickets to give away, and also Ivan, I think we should have, before we close down, we should put in the chat the link for people to join DroidCon Berlin with 50% off. There's like 9 tickets, and the first 9 people that do it get it. I don't know, something like that. We're totally not improvising this.
No, let me look. I need to look it up. Wait a second. Where is it? Oh my God.
Sorry for the curveball.
Yeah, wait. Okay, wait. I found the email.
I have the link if you want. I can put it in the chat.
Oh yeah, if you have it, go for it.
Okay, so
just drop it in.
Well, I'm gonna come down, but I'm gonna put a link in the chat, and you can use that link. The first 9 people that use it will get 50% off a ticket for DroidCon Berlin, where you will have beautiful speakers such as Jossi.
I will be speaking, yeah.
So,
and you know what? You know what I'll be speaking about? I'll be speaking about Compose under the hood. So I'm very much looking forward to the stream with Jake on Wednesday, because I'll learn a lot. Really looking forward to it.
I see I'm not the only one that is late preparing the talk.
Well, to be fair, we've been researching for like 2 months and like digging through Compose. So
fair enough. I've been playing with Compose for Desktop for 2 months. I think it's the same thing, right? Like my talk is on Compose for Desktop. I've been using it.
Bam, bam, bam.
Okay, so
That's nice.
The link is coming in a second. Even if you want to do the rest in the meantime.
Yes, so the usual greetings. Thank you for staying with us. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you have an Amazon Prime subscription, you can support the channel for free because you have Twitch subscription connected to your Amazon Prime every month. So subscribe to the channel. We get a couple of bucks or even less, but we are buying but we are buying stickers. We found a new how does it producer? No, it's not producer. Like people that print stickers. So we are also gonna print more of them at a cheaper price. So more stickers, yay!
But it's gonna take a long time to get those.
Yeah, because shipping. If you are watching this on YouTube, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and keep an eye on the Twitter feed because we are running the IntelliJ idea giveaways mostly on YouTube nowadays. So your support is important on YouTube as well. And yeah, so more tickets are coming, more guests are coming. Buy the book and get ready with questions for Jake for the next episode.
I think
Jossi,
we should.
Thank you again.
We should probably announce the person that is gonna be our guest for the book club.
Okay. So for the book club, we are having chat basically.
Yeah.
So
fuck it, it's chat.
So surprise. So if you were wondering who are gonna have, yes, we are gonna talk with the author of the book. So buy the book. The money from the book is going to charities because I don't think the chat needs the money. So he's a very generous person. So everything is gonna go to charities. Buy the book. This is an affiliate link, so we get like a $1 from probably Uncle Bezos.
I don't think it's. I think it's a few cents. The book is cheap.
No, $1
we need to tell
like
chat
total.
to put a higher price, so we get a higher affiliate link.
So jokes aside, so this is an affiliate link, so we get a bit of referral from the link. Buy the book, get ready with questions for chat. He's gonna be with us in how many days? It's like 1 week.
1 week, yeah, on the 10th.
So read fast. So the book is beautiful. It's very engaging. At the end, they don't get married. I was a bit disappointed, but yeah, it's a super engaging reading.
Thank you for the sub.
Thank you for the sub. Again, Jossi, whenever you want. You're a lovely guest. Whenever you want, just shout it on Twitter and you can come back whenever you want. Thank you.
Directly after I fix the bug.
Just brag live. Come and brag about the fix. I don't care. Just come here. Just drop the mic. Oh, by the way, the bug is fixed, and then you leave.
I would love to do such a short stream. It's like, oh yeah, it's done. Bye. Update the dependency.
And then it's just 1 hour and a half of like we're gonna be right back screen, that kind of stuff, and music. It was lovely.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice evening.
Thank you, everyone.
We'll see you
Ciao,
around.
ciao.
Bye.